Good evening, welcome in, welcome to the stream. Hope everyone is doing fine this lovely Friday. I started the game, obviously, and it's ready to go. We made significant progress last stream. We made it out of chapter 1 and finished maybe about a half of chapter 2 as well. The going was pretty slow to start with in the game, but it's going better now. We have a decent grasp of the combat system, which is very confusing at first, and I'm sort of getting to grips with the lore of the game. Somewhat surprising to me that it's pretty much open world, so you can explore all of the world in every chapter, and it changes and it's different based on which chapter of the story you're in. So you can basically do it as you like, but there are some parts that are like the battle that we tried last stream, which are pretty much inaccessible. So it isn't necessarily true that you can travel everywhere, but there's a lot of freedom of exploration, and in the order you decide to do things, which is pretty great for a game of this age. And we just managed to finish off the puzzle of the missing hand last stream, and we went back to claim our prize, which was this rather dashing sword. Or which one was it? This one? No. It's just a standard one. Yeah, it's the Gallon Griefmaker. Now, this is a relatively good sword. It has a base damage of 29 plus the strength of the character, which would yield quite a bit of damage in the right hands, and the accuracy is 15 as a minimum plus whatever accuracy skill the character has. And for a swing, it's 42 plus strength, and the accuracy is only 10 less. And that's a significant boost based on the other swords that we've seen in the game so far. We compare it, for example, to this sword, which is a two-handed broadsword, which has been blessed 2 times based on the other cross here, which is only 8 plus strength, which is at least 15 less, and has an accuracy of 10 plus skill, so the accuracy is at least 5 higher, and the damage is at least 15 higher. And we have to bear in mind that this has been blessed twice, which gives it a 10% boost, whereas this one is unblessed. So if we do get it blessed at the temple, we can basically raise it a further 10%, which will raise the base damage to 32 plus strength instead of the 12. So it is a significantly more powerful weapon, and definitely worth searching around for the hand, which did take a while because I figured it was somewhere close to the cemetery, where in fact was not. Was not close to the cemetery at all. We just needed to travel onwards to find it, and I'm trying to get my bearings as to where exactly we were. Yes, we're here. We are trying to get to Romney. That's basically the destination. And let's go back to Silden. I think we were probably here because we just claimed a reward for the woman with the sword, and we were probably just at the... Might have been at the store. Because once we gave her the go-to, she opened up the store for us, so she will now buy and sell merchandise from us. She's very useful at this present time because the traveling back to Krondor to visit the store is a very long way. Gives us a chance to go back and sell quite a bit of the stuff. That's a buck. Excuse me, sirs, I will detain you only a few moments. Can you show me the way to Leiden? I'm told there is someone there who requires my services to pick a Weber lock. The letter I received from there sounded most urgent. Impossible, a Weber lock cannot be picked. Perhaps not by you, but one skilled in the arts of subtlety. He may know how to penetrate even the most difficult of locks. It is a matter of patience. I don't care how patient you are, a Weber lock cannot be picked. You are making idle boasts. What would that book gain telling strangers a fact that was not true? Merely say these things so I may advertise my services, and you might make use of them one day. I state simple fact, there is no lock in this kingdom of yours that book cannot pick. None. Is that so? Perhaps you could teach us how to pick Weber locks. It would take more time than I think you would care to spend. I spent 5 years at the foot of my master Kalipta in the shadow of Mount Ashunta learning the art. But I could perhaps improve whatever skill you may already possess. Small fee of 70 gold sovereigns should pay for my time. 70 gold pieces for a lesson in lockpicking, that's nothing short of robbery, but then again, so is lockpicking. You are wise. I should not cheat myself in this fashion. 80 sovereigns, but I cannot raise my price any higher, despite the great deference you show to my person. Is the arrangement to be sealed? Yeah. Alright, cash in 80 sovereigns, but I'm warning you, I doubt there's anything you can teach me. You must open yourself to new things. This is the first learning. Without this opening, you will not be complete. Opening yourself is like opening a lock. If you cannot open, then the lock may not open. You should understand there is no difference between yourself and the lock that you pick. All these things I will demonstrate with the test lock that I carry with me. I want you to observe. I see on double talk. Wait a minute, how did you do that? I couldn't see. Do it again. That is it, you have received your first lesson, dark eyes. That was too fast, I couldn't catch what you were doing. In time you shall realize what was done. In your mind the events will unlock, and thus your hands will unlock as well. I must go now, goodbye. Wait. Okay. Yeah, I do this every stream match to just to make sure that the quantifier that I use to display the chat is actually working properly. Just a single line at the top to make sure that you can actually see the chat. Hey, Ash, welcome in. It's relatively bad if people have been chatting along and I'm watching the screen and I can't see any chat. I generally do have the Twitch chat open somewhere. 30 minutes of the wizard test, Mr. Cola, that can be done. Welcome in, by the way, Mr. Cola. How's life treating you? Hope you're well. Hope you're well as well, Ash. I'm a wizard. Suits me. Let me bring the oatmeal. That sounds very exciting. Things are good. Things are good indeed. Done with the day and gotten into the streaming part of the day. Why is my hat disappearing here? Don't do this, Mr. Camera. Try to stay focused on the hat. Be one with the hat. It's unusually bad this time around. Usually it's enough to just sway it in a certain direction and it will stay in focus. Maybe that will do it. A disappearing hat. It's a neat trick. It's a magic trick. Goes with the hat. Yeah, I'm alone with the boys. My wife is studying for an exam she has tomorrow. So we had a quick bite of takeaway chicken and I managed to get them to bed. James pushed open the wooden door. No one has lived here in some time, he said, looking around the empty room. Okay. Did we miss this little town of Silton? Looking at the map, it does seem like it should be accessible. No, maybe we just need to go a little bit further. I like that you can actually navigate with the map screen open. It's a nice addition. Assume this is the way to Silton. No, this is definitely not the way to Silton. This would rather be the way to Silton. We struggled a bit with the last stream with at the end where Owen the magician, he got poisoned in the North Trail. There's the sign. So Silton is down here, I assume. The other trail. This is Dawes. This is Betrayal of Krondor was Dawes, 93 or close to that. Meaty music and pretty good meaty music. Pretty famous theme tune. Does it? Does it really? That is a mistake. And has been rectified. Yeah, it has excellent music, and sadly enough, there's not a lot of music while you're traveling around the map in the game, but there is music in pretty much every other scene. So I tend to not to have any background music running during gameplay, because the music is just so good. I like to keep it turned up. Now what is... We headed for an ambush here. At least smart to set up a safe at this point. Set up a new directory. Agree to attack. You can, if you click the enemy before you approach, you can sort of try your hand at surprising the enemy. Sometimes it works. The men charged them with throwing strange packs from their tunics. They pelted Goroth and Owen with globs of material that smelled terribly. Confused at first, Goroth examined the material, then realized what was happening. It's a quick-in battle tactic. They're throwing disease-infected stuff at us. It's lovely. We're going to get poisoned. Can't wait. I think we'll use the Flamecast spell here, despite being quite a bit injured still. I think he missed rather badly at that. New sword dealt 45 of damage. That's a lot of damage. Down goes Owen, somewhat unexpectedly. Might reload before this battle here. They seem to have a fairly high armor class, so they're very difficult to hit. Probably have to do something about Owen's health before heading into this battle. Not gonna survive him as low as this. He made it through, but it's so difficult to heal the characters when they get this low that it's not worth it to continue unless we try to make sure that he's a little bit more healed. What's his current status? So travel back a bit somewhere to this crossing perhaps. Sleep for 24 hours, that will restore maybe 20 points more. Might sleep for a further 24, that will bring us close to 80 here. Yeah, it's quite difficult. You have to keep your wits about you at all times. Even the slightest mistake will lead you into death pretty quickly. And we're better equipped now than we were. Also means that I can cast a flame cast. And direct hit as well. 30 worth of damage, which is quite a bit with these guys. Go tackle this guy. Get another opportunity, but flame cast is not wise in this situation because friendly fire is a thing in this game, so if there's someone in the way, you will definitely injure them as well, which is bad. Use Despair Thy Eyes, which should cause temporary blindness if there's a perfect hit. It worked out quite a bit better. It turned out pretty well for us, in fact. And gave us a nice boost in abilities. Seeing the glazed look in each other's eyes and sickly pallor, it was obvious they had fallen prey to a virulent plague. Apparently James hoped they would reach a temple soon before they all died of it. Yeah. I have to do something about that. We're not going to be able to rest either. Steal all of their gold. Might not need this whetstone. Decently well equipped in that regard. might just leave it. There's a space in the box is decently precious. We'd like to take the more valuable items with us. There's a third guy here. We should be able to approach him. Okay, that's this guy. The front guy. Must be at least one other hero here that we haven't been able to click yet. There's two of them here. This can be a bit finicky. Yeah, it's here. Lack of rations, we'll share that. Decent condition sword as well. Might want to swap here. Take the 87% armor, which will fetch us more money. Leave the 59% instead. There's also this 47% sword. 50, sure, there was another one. Yeah, it's 48, doesn't really matter. Okay. I'm wondering if we should... No, it's fine, I'll keep to the safe. Take a look at this box over here. Some sort of note here, which we'll take with us. Roller, the seals are perfect. We should have no trouble getting into Romney with these. Too much activity to store them here, though. Moved a whole lot to a barn outside Leeton. Paid a gold grubbing farmer to watch over them, Delton. Yeah. Know about that. We know about that. What's in here? Bowstring repair. We do have some of it, but can always use more. It doesn't take much space. I'd forgotten about these stamps. Somewhat torn now as to what we do next. We really need to get rid of this sickness.
Oh boy!
Get out of here.
Why'd I hit a button? Why'd I hit a button?
Welcome in, Eva. Thanks for shouting out Mr. Cola. You should go through Mr. Cola. Follow is a wonderful variety streamer here on Twitch. Streams a lot of real hardware. Lots of different stuff as well. Plenty of variety. I do wonder if we have something. That could possibly improve our plate condition, but I doubt that we do. We're all very much plate. Accuracy potions, strength potions and various enhancements, but nothing that would cure us of the poison that we have now. Let's see if there's something we can use in the town that's below here. Another of these scarecrows. Yeah, we should go in for supplies, definitely. That's Silton, a decently sized town. Has a tavern at least. James shouted at the ship. Peering at the railing of the ship, a golden-haired man waved down to them, advising them to stand clear of the net that was coming over the side. "What ship is this?" James shouted. "The mist devil this is," the sailor replied loudly, pounding the railing with a fist. Only ship fast enough to have slipped away from Captain Trenchard were readying sail for the Isle of Iortis at the moment. James considered for a moment how much for passage to the Isle. 30 golden sovereigns, the sailor called down. "Are you interested in making the trip? If so, come on up the gangplank." Okay, we can make the travel from here. James tried the lock. He moved closer to examine the brass-plated lock, but a group of sailors wandering by made him weary. "No sense risking a night at the lock over this. Let's leave," he sighed. There's a shop. Dragon's Breast and Flamecast, Skyfire, Ucho's Haven, Eyes of Ishab, Night Fingers, Nakrisi Satrix, Skin of the Dragon, Stardusk. That's about it. Nothing in here that would actually help us, except we could perhaps sell some of the stuff that we have here. No, he doesn't buy this sort of stuff. You want a sword? No. It's fairly typical of most of the shops. They don't actually buy all of the goods. A title dwarf stared at them, smiling. He revealed a mouthful of teeth which had been filed into shark-like points, and his black eyes seemed just as deadly. "Okay, and Consi," he said, speaking with a thick Cassian lilt. He motioned to a table that was nearby. "Please, gentlemen, the game awaits you." Not feeling like beginning an argument with a strange a second cannibal, James allowed himself to be escorted to a table where a deck of poker cards was stacked. The man was a gambler, withdrawing a deck of cards thicker than those used for Linlan or Poshava. He slapped it down on the table, withdrew a strange-looking card, and flipped it over. A woman was drawn on the face of the card. "Called the Blue Lady," the man said with a drawl. "The game is poker. The latest thing played by the Cassian dog soldiers. Have you heard of it?" James nodded. "I've even had occasion to play it with mercenaries passing through the local tavern." Although the gambler seemed disappointed, he continued, "An even bet. I'll pay you half of what you bet, since you already know how to play. What will you put up?" "You've had quite a good run by the look of you. We alas have not been so fortunate. Perhaps someone else will play you. Yeah, I'm not going to gamble in this game. Coming by money is hard enough. We've taken a lot of effort to build up the little funds that we have. So gambling them away seems fairly stupid." James motioned to the barkeep. The man looked up from the gobblers he was washing and smiled in their direction, obviously happy to have more customers. But his welcome expression changed to a mixture of fear and outrage, and he began to scream at them in a language James didn't understand. The contagion. Please, my companions and I are ill and in need of help. Where might we find someone who knows how to heal us? None may heal you, the dancer through man's heart has marked you for a dance, and none may save you. Go now, please, before you infect me. If a goddess has marked us, then only a goddess may be able to save us. What temples may be close by? Who is the local patron goddess? My men will be here soon, you will regret waiting. Tell me where the nearest temple is, or I will come over there, pin you to the floor, and my companions and I will take turns spitting down your throat until you crawl with this disease. Where's the temple? Not taking no for an answer, our James. The Mist Devil is anchored in harbor, and it sometimes will take passengers to the temple of Eortis on Temple Isle. Men on board were asked for 10 gold pieces. I hope the boat crashes and takes the 3 of you to your death. Now be gone. And none too soon. Expect another visit from us, Barkeep. Okay. He boarded the ship. Within minutes of weighing anchor, the Mist Devil sped across the narrow channel which separated the Isle of Eortis from the mainland. After an eternity of the distant horizon seeming to grow no closer, they eventually docked with the help of a river pilot. Well, this temple is basically here just to cure us from this. The meditation chamber was Spartan and strangely cold. It's the same text as per usual. Is this one of the teleports? No, it's not active yet, at least. In most of the temples you can use this tapestry to teleport between the different temples. Once activated, it seems that you can travel pretty quickly around the game without having to take every single road, which would speed up our progress quite a bit. James pulled the curtains aside. The rear section of the temple was as dramatic as was the meditation chamber. A large pool occupied the center of a lush courtyard and was hemmed in on all sides by an alabaster pedestal with climbing vines. Closer immediately off the open area were several arches, doorways either blocked by heavily woven curtains or choked with clouds of obscuring incense. Nearby a gong sounded, and immediately a priest hurried out of a doorway, halting as he caught sight of the unexpected supplicants. James motioned to the figure across the room. The woman nodded, then made her way across the wooden floor until she was standing before them. Among you that are injured that need looking after, the ship should return here soon. I would advise you to seek help as soon as possible. That's why we've come. The shipmaster in Silton said we could find a healer in this island who could help us. You have been misinformed. I'm not a priestess of Sung, and the artist concerns himself solely with the denizens of his kingdom of the sea. He may act only on their behalf. Thus is his purpose sustained by the will of Ishab, the one above all. When I was young, I was fortunate enough to have learned something about how the temples all worked. I thought I remembered that a god can sometimes be compelled to shout his purpose in return for a duty of obeisance. That is true, but the earth is but a shadow of what he once was. For a time before the Valhalla warred with the gods of Mythemia, his influence was as the depth and breadth of the seas and all that moved across them. At last he vanished. Killian assumed control of his realm, but here are some essence of what he was still survives. We cannot communicate with a god that is lost. But if we were to act on his behalf, do you think he would grant us a favor? I cannot know. If there are more than an essence of him in this place, perhaps we could commune with him and learn his thoughts. But we of the Order of Eortis are the servants of a vanished god. We see his will only in very small ways. Perhaps we are here to serve that will. What can we do to help you? I can see no harm in your request, but I can't guarantee you no measure of success or failure in your efforts. I can depend only on what the omens may tell me. Perhaps the Eortis will stir from his slumber to grant his favor. Until then, the Mist Devil will bring you no longer to this isle. You at least give us an idea of where to start. You may be able to read the god's will in the falling of a sparrow. Some of us are not half so clever. Of late we've had many tell us that Rusalki, who sometimes lingers near the rivers, have become disturbed. If you may find them all and lay them to rest, it might serve your purposes. I will warn you, however, that many of these sisters of Iliam are wily and will find ways to hide their presence. Many do not wish to be sent into the halls of Limskrakma. You will need to be clever in finding them. This is my advice. They filed out of her inner sanctum. Bela suddenly dropped to her knees behind them. They rushed to her side, but she had already gained her feet as they reached her. I am sorry, she said breathlessly. Your this touch is sometimes overwhelming. Though I cannot understand the meaning of it, something in you has aroused this interest and he has smiled on you this day. Good luck to you. So I assume that a cure is out of the question here. We can possibly have this blessed. 327 sovereigns and 5 royals. That's a very hefty price to bless this. We'll try a different temple. If we want to bless it twice, that will be almost 700. That's about 90% of what we have. We're in trouble now. Definitely in trouble now. So what are we supposed to do? Just walk around this river and catch people? And how are we to do that? Resting will definitely not do anything nice to us. We're in a pretty bad way already. We are doing quite a bit better now. Maybe all that was actually required for us to go to that temple. We still have the task in hand, so probably get on with it. Should probably get on with it, although I remain unconvinced as to how we should proceed here. You will bring ill luck on all of our heads. I do not wish your business. Why do you wish us gone? If you're here, you have crossed paths with those who work for the crawler. All who cross him die. Wouldn't happen to mean some men who are waiting outside of town, would you? I will say nothing more to you. I'm content as a living man. I can understand your fears. I will ask no more questions of you for now. Interesting. The man scarcely acknowledged them. You look a sorry dog, James commented, noting the long look on the man's face. What troubles you? They drink up the last winnings I ever made in Lancer's tourneys, he said, watching the swirling contents of his cup. From this day forth, I have to earn an unsullied day's a living. James arched a brow. I wouldn't call being a Lancer a solid profession. No, the man replied with a pained smile. Not ordinarily, but I am beginning to advance in years and my strength is not all it used to be. At the last Lancer's tourney, I bought a vial of Fatima's formula. Unfortunately, before the last joust of the day, I was discovered drinking it. My lord rescinded my bond and the master of ceremonies forbid me ever attending another tourney, so I may never again seek another noble employer. Reaching into his belt, he pulled out a small wire and slapped it into James's palm. Hey there, Gleason, welcome in. All yours, I'll be happy not to see another drop of it in all my life. James squinted, why give this to us? I'm not specifically giving it to you, the man said. You were just at hand when I decided to give it up. But to give you an understanding why I'm giving it up, perhaps I should show you something. Pulling up the hem of his tunic, he indicated a pocket scar which marred the flesh above his navel. Several of the knights I defeated in the tourney gathered together, and among them decided I should be taught a lesson.
Come on, guys. Really.
You should go throw Gleason a follow. He streams Idle Champions and Heroes of Might and Magic. Are you back streaming, Gleason? I haven't caught a stream since you came back. If so, a hot iron shot into your guts can be a very convincing teacher. Yeah, probably can. Shall we try to part a little? $50 sovereigns. That's it's better than nothing. Okay, still feeling the throat problems. Yeah, you should get that checked out. We can buy some spoiled rations, which doesn't sound very great. Let's rest up a little bit. Before we do this. So we're pretty much at possible highest health we can get without staying at the inn. And let's visit the inn to recover the rest of it and bring ourselves up to 100%. Hey there, Broomhatter, welcome in. And welcome in as well, Dr. Jacobs. I'm sorry if I didn't welcome you in. I responded to the comment, I forgot to welcome you in. Yeah, that's pretty much 100%. Goroth is missing 2. Well, like that. We'll take that. That's pretty much 100%. That's about as good as it gets in this game. It's very hard to reach 100% health. Now, I assume the mini quest that we were giving to search around the river is something that we actually need to do. So let's walk around here. Probably can't go any further than this. I assume this is the river they're talking about. Something had been buried under the dirt.
Yes, RNGesus, please shine your shiny Pokemon blessings upon.
You could go throw Broomhatter a follow if you like Pokemon. Plays a lot of Pokemon games. What's here? Some rations. Share those. What is this? A gem? Rubies. Okay. Take those as well. Eyes ran the length of Owen's spine. Desperately, he tried to recall what little he knew of temple magic as the enemy advanced towards them. He regretted not having spent more time studying the text on the Midkemian goddess of death, Limskrakma. Then seconds there were ashen-faced creatures in the mist, studying them with eyes long. Definitely headed into a nasty battle here. Probably should have saved I'm a dumbass, so I didn't. At least we're in good health, so we can use the flame cast spell many times. While these creatures will launch at us from afar, gonna have a very shitty time here. I prefer to fight as many of them in melee combat as we can, because it probably takes away their range skills. This is an absolutely brutal battle for us. Good shot. One down. I'm having a very tough time right now. Two down. I needed to get him out of range, but that was bad. That was a good hit, excellent. Might survive this yet. Goreth is at this point very injured. Excellent. We are to survive. It's because of Owen, that's for sure. Couldn't really stand that bit. That was pretty difficult. One of the problems here is that our accuracy is severely impacted when we're hurt like this. So Owen just basically shot into the blue here, and we're wasting all of his health. Pretty much dead at this point. Yeah, we're screwed. I'm gonna have to reload that. It's doable, it's just difficult. Probably have to restore quite a bit after it, and we can probably use the temple. Temple will probably heal us for free. When did we save last? after fully restoring our health. Okay, that's fine. That's good enough. See if we can sneak up on them. No. And in fact, not do so. It's amazing how inaccurate he can be. He hit his own teammate, but missed the others. He couldn't hit the ocean from a boat, as they say. I'd say this is going worse by far than the previous one. Seems we have had a very poor roll of the dice here. Remove the wizard hat. See if the situation improves, whether we become more wizardry without the hat. At this point, I think we're pretty screwed. Sort of wondering if we should perhaps just try to get out of the line of sight here, whether that is a better idea. Standing knight next to you. How could you possibly miss like this? He had two targets and he managed to shoot just between them. Let's try that again. I have a feeling it will be better to try to sneak up on them. We can, but I'm somewhat puzzled as to where that might be best, where we should, how we should approach this. Having them go first at least is not a particularly good idea. I basically slaughtered us here. That's the little house. Where are they? There they are. Not so lucky. There are only 3 of them now, though. That is significantly easier than having to deal with 4 of them. Good clean hit. There actually are 4 of them. No. Wrong. Managed 22, which is pretty great. And they're standing very close to each other, so if this is a direct hit, then it will hurt both of them a little bit. Now there's only 1 remaining. Oh, this is looking pretty good for us. Yeah. Creatures had vanished. Fear for the creatures might appear from behind, spun, but found a menacing apparitions that indeed disappeared back to wherever they had come from. They're gone, he said, his voice still raw from exertion. Let's get moving again. Party's abilities have increased. Indeed they have. We would never have survived this had it not been for the extended healing that we did before we tried this battle. Sort of running out of rations, and I don't think there's actually much of an option at buying them in that town. Oh great, this is the other fight. There are 2 of them, it seems. I think we successfully ran away now. I think we'll take that. Hurry back to the main road.
Oh, come on! No!
Hey there, guys. Welcome in. Charlie Farr and Raiders. Hey there, Retro Punter. Welcome in. What are you guys playing over there? Hope you had a nice stream. Hey there, Charlie Farr. Welcome in. We're playing Betrayal at Krondor. Struggling a little bit here. Some difficult fights upon us.
It's not really giving me a break here.
I love when it says last seen playing retro, like retro is just one game, just a single game. It's called retro. Everything that you do in the retro category just belongs to that one game. Rolling Thunder, Commando, yeah. Good stuff. Some homebrew as well. Can we buy some rations? No, we can't buy any rations. That's a bad situation. All they have are these spoiled rations. We'll have to make do with what we have. We do need to rest a little bit more. No, maybe that's enough. Let's check into the inn. That's definitely going to be required. Try to restore as much as we can of our hit points. Yeah, basically at 100% now. Gonna need all of that and maybe a little bit more. See what we could possibly do here. Thinking we split the battle barrels with both parties. Yeah, this is a retro machine here. A huge tower, in fact. The K6 300 with the S3 Trio card in it and a Voodoo 2 as well, which we're not actually using, although this is a sort of pseudo 2D, 3D kind of game. It's before the days of 3D acceleration, so it's the 3D, pseudo 3D is really just almost an illusion. I'm wondering if we have something here that we could potentially use. Definitely improve the bowstrings a little bit, so we can improve the situation there just a little bit, although not a lot. We do have some things that we could potentially use to cheat a little bit. This can be used to improve our swordplay. We can use this to increase our might. I have a few vials of this. Increases strength. This increases accuracy. And this increases defense. We might need all of these to survive this. At least, definitely the ones that increase accuracy. Possibly the ones that increase strength as well. So, try out a few different ways of approaching this. See if we can there are 4 of them here, which is definitely going to be a problem. A dad joke: why do birds fly south for the winter? But it's too far to walk. It is. That's take this. Yeah, we can't transfer during battle then. Okay. We can take it here, however. So let's Do you hear about the sick juggler? He couldn't stop throwing up. Yeah, it's an occupational hazard, I guess. Was a good shot. They do a ton of harm to us, so they hack us to pieces here in record time, really. What a terrible shot. Okay, I'm going to try a different tactic here. Next time we try this, I'm going to try a full power flamecast, and that combined with a shot from the bow should potentially be enough to take them down. If we can get two of them, if we can get at least one of them down quickly enough, that reduces the damage they can do. At the moment, it's basically just absolutely pulverizing us here. So let's take this accuracy potion. Spread it around a little bit. One here. One here. We have so little space. It's embarrassing, really. We can transport this over here. This one that we need to share as well. Might use this as well. We do need some space. Do need some space.
58. Oh, that's not a good.
Yeah, thanks for shouting out Retro Potter, Eva. You should definitely go throw him a follow. There's a lot of the
low gear.
high score challenges. Quite fun to watch. Okay, we'll have to make that do for now. Don't think we can actually free up any more space until we can sell some of this stuff. Save right here and approach this barrel once more. We manage the element of surprise, which is actually quite beneficial to us. If we can get a shot off here, that's a good shot. We then follow through with a full power flame cast. And there's basically one down, right? Yeah. Okay, so that's one down. Tempted to try to bring her down by sword if we possibly can. Rather try to take this one down using magic. It would help if either of them could actually shoot. This was a direct hit, so that's 60, that takes her down. That's actually quite a bit of success already. We managed 25 here by the sword. Missed that one, but don't need a full power flamecaster, and we only need pretty much maybe 2/3. We'll do some damage to the other party members. I will have to be. It's 3 of them down already. Good shot, Owen. Direct hit with the bow is enough. If only they could actually shoot, that would help. Gentlemen, try harder. Owen is definitely doing all the heavy lifting in this fight. Problem is that his health is already pretty low, so his accuracy has gotten pretty poor as well. We're gonna kill him eventually, so see if we can run towards her. We only really need to hit her once. So we do need to hit her once, or she will definitely kill us. Yeah, that was very close. That was very, 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 very close. We're pretty much dead. We're almost at 0. We have less than 10 hit points for James and Owen. But Gorath is getting pretty strong. He withstood pretty well. We have precious little in the way of rations as well, so Owen does have some extra rations that thinking that we might be able to share. This takes up more space when it's split up like this, because when it when it's all on one person, it combines together, so don't need to waste 2 slots on it, which helps a bit. He only has 1 ration remaining in the back. It's not good to run out of rations. That's a bad idea. So what we'll do now is give him 2, and then we'll give Owen 1 of these. Basically leave all of them with 2. Then we'll sleep some more. Is he poisoned? Yes, he is, but not a lot. Sometimes happens when you rest like this. You need to rest multiple days, you get poisoned. This will help him a little bit. Set him to 100% healing, then we'll go hike into town again. Visit the inn. It's a little bit unfortunate that we can't actually buy any good rations in town. Neither at the shop nor at the tavern. But at least there is an inn. Yeah, there's precious little noise in this machine. At least the fan is still pretty loud, but that's about it. There's nothing spinning inside this machine. It's the IT is connected to a compact flash card, so the old spinning discs that were in this machine have been removed. How do we get back to the temple? How do we get back to the temple now that we've sort of gotten rid of the rest there? Don't really have enough rations to be able to safely rest at the inn. We'll have to keep traveling on foot. Is there something in this house over here? No. Largely abandoned. Few copper shillings. That's pretty much it. We're going in the right direction. Best check. We are on our way to Sloop. Eventually Romney, which is where we're headed. We already picked this up. No. Haha, we're luck. It's food. Food, precious food. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1. Okay. One more over here. For some reason, it doesn't actually combine the food. I find that rather amusing, but it doesn't. So you have 2 food packs. You can waste 4 slots with 4 packs of food, each with 1 in it. Suppose it makes sense. It's already packaged, but it sort of just doesn't make sense. I think we'll walk into the night here, even if we are injured because we're low on rations. Who's this? Who's this, Kimosabi? They agreed to attack. We're guarding something. What are they guarding? What could they be guarding other than the pass itself, obviously? We do need to get through here, though. We are to get to Romney. Who are these guys? Or at least only 3 of them. Take that. That was a bad miss. I might skip another flame cast. One isn't really needed. Might go for a Despair Thy Eyes instead. Temporarily blind him, that will enable us to take him down. This little sucker is trying to run away here. And he succeeded. We didn't manage to run after him, but that's fine. See if we can find space to fit this sword. No, we can't actually. In better nick than the other one, so I might leave this one behind. Take this one instead. Fetch more money for it. Always take more gold, and yeah, we should leave this behind and we'll take this armor instead. We'll fetch quite a bit more. Well, that's at least a little bit of added cash for us. I assume they're guarding the passage here. What does the sign say? Food and lodging. Does it now? More of these. How lovely. Thankfully, at least only 3 of them. That one should be over and done with. Yeah. Might see if we can a shot here, point blank range, basically. Of course, he missed. Good shot. Down she goes. James is basically dead. Yeah, it's at pretty much 0 now. Gonna stink. This is gonna sting quite a bit. Hurt us long term for sure. It was a seriously bad shot. I'm not sure we'll survive this one. If we do, yeah. So it's basically with pretty much 0 health. James has 1 hit point. Owen has 5. Not so great. Let's see. Give him at least 5 of the healing vials. Pick him up a little bit. Okay. Probably got him out of the near-death scenario, at least close enough to it that he's normal, but James is still near death. Give him 2 more. Takes forever to restore a party member that has gone to the near death stage. That's 65% now. We'll give him one of these as well. We'll take his healing up to 100%. It will improve what we get out of the sleep. That we'll have to do now. Have to sleep here for 24 hours basically. And further 8. Owen poisoned. Yeah, a little bit. Not terribly. We'll survive. We're not in good nick. We're in pretty bad shape. So we have little to no food. At least we've beaten another pair of these. What's hiding here? The owner of the house, a bearded man of about 50, obviously saw James approaching because the door swung open before he had a chance to knock. Good day to you, sirs. My name is Buck Rush, and who might you be? James made the appropriate introductions, and the man smiled at them warmly. Then he said, the river has been fruitful this season. Could I interest you fine gentlemen some dried trout? Or perhaps you'd like to buy one of my handmade shovels or maybe a torch? Yes, sir. Very good, then step right this way, gentlemen. Wait until you taste my dried trout. I season it with fresh basil and just the right amount of sea salt. Yeah, rations. Give me rations. Don't think we need the shovel. We have lots of shovels. How are we doing on health? Let's go back a little bit. See if we can catch some sleep here. See, does it negatively affect Owen that we rest now? No, it doesn't. His near-death situation right now, he's at 35% near death. Let's give him another of these. And then take that. And then let's rest again. What's it now? 21%. Okay. Takes an enormous amount of time to recover from this condition. You managed to get unlucky enough to hit it. He's probably at 0 now. Yeah. So we've basically slept here for 5 days. And, he's finally recovering. We ate an entire pack of rations, but that's fine. We can get more. The game is giving us a little bit of a break here. I wonder if we can fit another pack. We'll buy another pack. Next time we rest, we should be pretty much fully restored. At least as much as we can, actually, without going to an inn again. And we're nearly at Romley, though I do suspect there will be more trouble before we get there. Based on the fact that they seem to be very weary about the situation. Suppose this is the other town here. Some more corn. I don't remember eating no corn, as they said. James knocked on the door for a long moment. He leaned against the doorframe as he waited, positioning himself so he could listen for the sounds of any stirrings inside. When at last was evident no one was coming, he stepped back with a shrug. Doesn't seem that anyone's about, James said. But well, there are 2 wells. Okay. It was uneventful. Where are we here? Loop is just ahead. Where does this tangent lead us? No, it's one of those undead guys. How magical. One of the problems with engaging him is that once we go close to him, we can no longer shoot at him with the spells because the guys are in the way. They're still not ready to sleep, but we didn't take a ton of damage, so it's probably fine for now. Continue following down this road here. What's at the bottom here? Headed for trouble. Good shot. We'll use the chance, since we're doing well in combat, to use some turns to heal in between. Yeah, just some armor that we don't have any space for. And, some swords that we also don't have space for. A little bit of gold as well. That's about it. And, there are 3 boxes here. Anyone wanna hazard a guess as to this word puzzle on the chest? Kingdom fools are born without a lot of this, there is no doubt. Any guesses? It's a word that starts with a T, an E, an H, or a B. This one is relatively tough despite being only 4 characters. It's usually the 5 character ones that are really difficult, but this one is I just can't think of anything that might match here. What could fools be born without? Other than obvious things like smart. I give up for now. I think there are actually 3 of these boxes here, annoyingly enough. A barrel of rainwater weighs 20 pounds. What must you add to make it weigh 15? Words that starts with a W, a G, an H, or an N. What's an English word for something that weighs 5 pounds? Is there one? Might leave this one as well. Probably going to have to come back here anyway because I do have a feeling that we're going to need to go back. We left these this is just gold. We left these stamps there. Ouch. Where did we save last? Before this trap exploded on us. Did we save before heading down here? No. Redo this fight. That actually didn't turn out so bad. This is basically what we want here. Owen will take down this guy. The other 2 will take down by melee. pretty much it. How were we doing here, by the way? Yeah, okay, we're already in a bad enough situation like this. Rest quite a bit before proceeding. Don't have space for any of this stuff here. Poison quarrels, actually relatively useful. Grab them. It's kind of sad that we don't have the space here for any of this stuff, but that we don't. This one was locked, but easily opened. The other one, however, was this a Moritral one? Yeah, this is one of the Moritral ones. There are two of them. Then there's this one. We have a spell for this. One of those clerical oil cloths. Do we have any space for it? Do actually. Seeing as we're very low on space, we might as well try to use it at this point. Bring it down here and shift stuff around. Make room. Fully used. What's this scroll? Eyes of Ishap. I think we already have this spell. But we might not. So let's read it. No, we don't actually. We need to check out what that spell does. Bit of cash. A few of these as well. We probably combine them with the ones that we have. Yes, we can. And what does this? Caster can sense vessels. Actually very useful. Okay. Definitely found some value here, although we can't crack the Moritral boxes. Pretty much at the gates of the town of Sloop. Yeah. That's Sloop, not Slope, but Sloop. It's at least a decently sized little town. No one's home. Standing in front of the wooden door, James paused to marvel at the construction of the house. Unlike many such houses, this one had apparently been built quite soundly and out of good materials. He knocked on the solidly built door. A moment later, a large man appeared in the doorway, his sandy-colored hair dancing around on his head, thanks to a gentle breeze. "You fellows come about a house no one builds them better," he said proudly. James took a step back. "We were just admiring the fine job you did. Very nice work. Unfortunately, we're just passing through." They talked to the man for a few minutes to discover there was a temple on the other side of town, then left. That is actually most useful to us at this present moment in time. This is a jewel store. It's a light place to sell these trinkets. So we actually made a ton of money doing so. Made something like 500 sovereigns. That's about 1/3 of what we made in the entire game so far. Sadly, he doesn't want to buy any of this stuff. No. At least we got rid of the jewels and managed to fetch a price for them as well, which I'll take. A pretty woman of about 30 answered James's knock. She came to the door holding a leather-bound book. Looking past her into the house, James could see 4 or 5 children of various ages. I'm afraid you gentlemen are a little too old for my classes, she said. Yes, okay then, well, we won't disturb you any further. Goodbye, miss. After that door closed, James turned to Goroth and said, don't give me that look. Teachers always make me nervous. Yeah, he was probably a pretty naughty boy in school. James pushed the door open. This place is abandoned, Goroth said, looking around the room. Maybe the occupants left something behind we can have. Suddenly we're coming by quite a fortune. We've gained something like 600 plus gold here in a matter of minutes. The house was obviously deserted. Still, James thought it would be a good idea to knock. No sooner had his knuckles touched wood than the door swung open freely. He blinked several times as his eyes adjusted to the murky darkness. Doesn't seem to be anything. Suddenly, a scrawny ball of fur exploded out of the house, raking Owen painfully across the face. Damnation, James cried. The cat must have been trapped in there for days. He caught his breath, then went over to check on Owen's injury. Crazy cat. Yeah, we're not doing too badly, it's fine. Cat didn't kill us. It's merely a scratch, as they say. The front door of the small house held a crudely made sign which read, unusual items for sale. James knocked and waited for someone to answer the door. A tall, shadowy man appeared and ushered them into the house. Going to buy something, yes, he asked, through crooked yellow teeth. I guess that depends on what you're selling, friend, Goroth replied. They followed the man to a large wooden table. It was covered with about a dozen items, mostly junk, but one caught James's eye. Tell me about this piece. Where did you get this? He asked, picking up a broken medallion that looked as though it had been stepped on more than once. The man eyed them nervously. I found it around here somewhere. Would you like to buy it? He made a half-hearted sales pitch, then seemed almost relieved when his offer was rejected and he was told they had to leave. Turning to Goroth, James said, did you notice the Nighthawk emblem on that medallion? I would say there definitely are or were Nighthawks in this area. Yeah. I'll say. James could smell alcohol. Pushing the door of the shop open, he was met by a sharp-faced fellow who was carrying a wooden keg. Quickly dumping it with a pile of other casks, he wiped his hands off on a towel, then extended his hand. Harlan, he said, I'm the brewmaster around here when I'm not hauling things about. Where exactly is here? James replied. This is the Uptown Keg. We're the best brewery this side of the Romney. Would you care to sample some of our stock? Make down the ample wine, the proprietor said. I can have some decanted for you. Refusing as politely as he knew how, James shook his head. We have to keep our heads about us, he said. For a long road ahead. There's been some trouble around or so, I hear. We'll leave it to get back to your business. James is a man of little fun. Saying no to the side there. And there's the temple. James pushed open the door. Looks like this used to be a temple of some kind, but it would appear this place was abandoned some time ago. Oh, that sucks.
Good afternoon, guys and girls.
Hey there, Golden House, welcome in.
To
Thanks for the raid.
another Golden House stream.
Welcome in, guys. What are you guys up to? What are you playing? There is Ava manning the moderation duties, of course.
Oh my gosh, Golden.
What did I think?
Just chatting. Okay. Tarsis, okay. Hope you guys had fun. We're doing part 5 here of Betrayal at part 6, sorry, on Betrayal at Krondor. We're basically in chapter 2 of the game. Slowly moving through it. Slowly but surely, should be said. Made decent progress tonight, although we've had some pretty tough dealings with the enemy as well. Just leaving this quaint little town that we ran into here on our way to our destination. Currently trying to get ourselves over to Romney. We've traveled here from Krondor over to Romney. That's been the task of the second chapter. It's taken us a while. There's been a lot of fighting. We've been injured multiple times. Overall, we've made progress at least. Another one of these diamonds, more than welcome. Go straight back to this town and just sell it off. There's a jewelry shop in this town. Best to sell the jewelry at the jewelry stores. It fetches a much better price that way. I'm doing pretty good, Will. Did you come in with a raid? If so, welcome in.
The green one is pretty cool.
The green one is very cool. You should go throw Will a follow.
Green one is pretty cool. Thank you very much for the follow as well, Nia.
Darkest Dungeon streamer with the mostest, and on Fridays he also plays a bit of horror, Alien Isolation, although we too spent quite a bit of time on his Alien Isolation streams talking about something other than aliens, as has been pointed out. Okay, is that it, Retroponder, for the first little part? And, yeah, these clues are at best cryptic, and usually they're more than cryptic. They're actually often they're just misleading. Did we already open all of these boxes? I thought we did. Okay, no, we didn't. This is a single blast broadsword that we could potentially sell, but we don't have any space, which is not great, but happens to. Kingdom Fools are born without a lot of this, there is no doubt. So what you're saying is that you can feel free to give me the word, Rush Hunter. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. If you can't figure it out, then I will just leave. I don't feel guilty at all for asking for help with these. Yeah, okay. I've just, we've solved most of them like this. We haven't bothered. This is a good item. Another cloth. Most welcome and actually very good condition elven armor. Ours has been double blessed, so we'll probably not replace it. It's kind of sad that we have this. Did you figure this one out, Mother? Does anyone have a clue what this is? A barrel of rainwater weighs 20 pounds. What must you add to make it weigh 15? Can anyone figure this one out? It must be something that weighs exactly 5 pounds that you add. So it must be a word for something that weighs 50 pounds or 5 pounds. And it has to start with a G, an H, an N, or a W. Must be some sort of container that takes. Or so you would think, although this crew could be equally cryptic as the other one. Could be misleading, in fact. Has to be 5 letters. That's actually a decently good idea. What do you call that thing that you add to a barrel to remove from it? It's not a tap. That's only 3 letters, so that can't be it. It's only 4 letters. We need 5 letters at least. More limited in the letter it can start with. It can only start with crack, could be it. No, there's no C. Needs to start with a W, a G, an H, or an N. And the crack was a pretty solid idea. Because these are difficult English words. I'm struggling a lot with these puzzles, which is why I'm just that might be it. Yeah, that's it. Good thinking there, Texas footballer. This is a scroll called Steelfire, which is the reason we solve these. They're very valuable. Helps a lot to solve these. We can learn the spell immediately. We already opened up this one. It was trapped, so we have all 5 of them. I suppose we could, at this stage, hike all the way back to buy and sell all of the trinkets that we found. But the problem with that is that going to take forever. We've already spent so much time in the game going back and forth, gathering items. It's a bit of a shame that the stores don't generally offer to buy just about anything. One potential solution, and one that I'm actually hoping is an option here, is that I'm hoping that the store in this rather large town of Romney will actually accept and buy mostly anything. And if that is the case, I might go on a few runs and fetch some of this stuff that we've left behind and sell it. It isn't a huge amount of money, but it's still a decent amount. We can use all the money we can find. We can't really take anything with us. We basically have no space in the backpacks for anything. At this point, we're very close to the town of Romney. Save scumming is sort of a thing with this game. You never know what you're going to see and find. Was something very strange about the house. James couldn't put his finger on it, but the house had a dreamlike feel. Or was it a nightmare? He barely remembered knocking on the door, but he was sure no one had answered. James pushed the door open. As he passed through, he noted the lack of a door latch, a sign that the inn was likely chartered by the local lord to ensure the safety of travelers. Hopefully it also means the inn's furnishings would be suitable. Should we try to make some money barding? We've had decent success with that recently. Yeah, we made 22 sovereigns. That's actually quite a bit of money. At least it was at the start of the game. We do only know one song, but we seem to get away with that quite a bit. The man scowled, apparently far more intent on something going on across the common room. He seemed uninterested in James's repeated attempts to chat. Last he glanced up and gave an exasperated sigh. What exactly do you want? Just a little friendly talk, James said. Sorry. For a little bit. Same for the companionable smile. News, gossip, a song perhaps. Well, go and find a bloody young lad and leave me be. I've got better things to do than entertain every jackaboot that comes through that door. Yeah. That's the same. There's a barmaid, however, and we can actually buy rations, and they're not silly expensive, at least. We'll do so before getting out of here, but for now, I think we'll stay a couple of nights at the inn. It's very cheap. It's only 3 gold. We'll fully restore our health. You can see how we're leveling up. We have over 100 hit points for everybody now. And not only that, but some of them are reaching close to 150, which is a massive improvement from when we started the game, at least. So we are getting better. Healers, if we're very, very close to Romney at this point, should almost be over it. That's probably it. Yeah. That's Romney. The way ahead was blocked. From among the men who were guarding the bridge, a man stepped forward to confront him. Mitchell Waylander, you have a Glazer's Guild seal. Ah, yes. I was worried about this. We left these seals behind because we didn't have space to carry them, but I guess we need 3 of them. There was an uprising here, lasted for several months. The Riverpoolers Guild took charge of the other labor guilds and surrounded Romney. The Crafts Guilds tried to fight their way out, and it seemed a losing battle. Until the King's men came up from Bastira, they managed to pacify the Riverpoolers' leader. The Duke of Romney's kept it from getting worse, but I can't guarantee how much longer he'll be able. It will probably be a while, though, before we open up the roads to the general populace. The townspeople come and go at will. We've restricted visitors from the outside, not imprisoned the citizens. Any townsperson can come and go at their leisure. Assume that the same may be said of your guests. May the men of the King's Company come out and play. We have business with them. I would be happy to help you, but I'm not entirely certain I would know how to contact them. They're hard to get into one place. Good night, Rest of Potter. Thanks for coming in. You sleep well. Have an excellent rest of the night. The little that's remaining of it. They're hard to get into one place, and I'm not sure they've met the leader. They're a rather untrusting pack of men. They would have to be, when you're tracking assassins, you have to be craftier and a little less moral than your prey. So where would I go to get one of those seals? Not that easy. There's a group near Silton that have been petitioning for membership for some time now. They're an unruly bunch, and I can't find anyone to sponsor them. But if I present a seal, you will step aside with no questions asked. Well, not with no questions asked, but if you would show that someone from the guild was watching for you. Enough, Reeve. We will come back. In the interim, please deliver a message to the King's men from Bastira. The 3 men will be here soon to visit with them concerning a nocturnal bird that kills at night. They will understand what the message means. Yeah, we're gonna have to go back and get these damn seals. They're not Navy seals, but they're close. Let's used a rather quicker method of just traveling using the minimap. I actually quite like this part of the game, especially when you've already traveled through, because you don't need to see the surroundings around you. All you basically need are to building. Was this the yeah, okay. This isn't the guy with the fish. He's further down the road. It's a lot quicker to do it this way than to use this view. I'm gonna have to rest here. Hoping to stop at the at that house to pick up some of the fish. We have a little bit of space in our inventory, so if we run across some dead bodies along the way, we might stop to pick up some items. That's probably the guy with the fish, right? This is something entirely different. This is a fortune teller. Please have a seat, she muttered, waving a brightly nailed hand. Let's see if we can catch the start of this conversation here. A man appeared in the doorway, his raven hair dusted with grey and the lines around his eyes hard. He looked on them with gravity, the weight of his stare deep and penetrating. This is the house of Madame Hapra, he rasped. Futures, speaking with the dead, and rumors. You will require a payment of 50 gold. Yeah, fine. Guess we paid that twice, but fine. James produced the requested amount and handed it over, following the tall man. Just before pushing aside the curtain, he halted and whispered to them. Do not question some of the things my wife may say or do, he said. We've recently lost a daughter, and it has shaken Harper's belief in some of her abilities. Please, if she asks for acceptance, no matter what she may have said, please treat her kindly. Without another word, she shoved aside the curtain and allowed them into the rear room, where Madame Harper waited. Seated at the table, she wore a woven brocade vest over a lightly dyed peasant's blouse, and her hands and neck were ornamented with bright wooden beads. Please have a seat, she muttered, waving a brightly laid hand at the rude chairs sat across from her. As she spoke, her eyelids fluttered as if she were speaking through an alcoholic haze. I may provide 3 services for you. I may speak of local rumors. I may tell thee the future. Or I may speak to the dead. See some rumors. Rumors, she repeated quietly. Leaning forward in her seat, she met James's gaze and held it, allowing her voice to harden. I will tell thee of the only rumor about which I know. Many have come and spoken to me of Rusalki that roam the lands near the river Pilot's Folly at night, but these are lies. Startled with the ferocity with which the woman had bitten off the last word, James shrugged his shoulders. I had not heard anything of them. Do not seek the Rusalki, she continued, her voice still fronting. They are of no harm to anyone. Though he had remained quiet as Harper had begun to rant, Bella moved forward and touched her on the shoulder, seemingly relieving the wildness that was overcoming her. These gentlemen are friends, he said quietly. You will not be injured. Taking his hand, she nodded once and looked back at James. You will forgive me, this has touched our lives, but I can explain no further. Believing the session was over, Bella stepped forward to escort them out, but Harper motioned for him to keep his place. I do not believe they were finished, she said, treating them with a faint smile. For the price they have paid, they may continue to ask questions, so strangers, as I have told you before, may speak of local rumors, I may tell thee the future, or I may speak to the dead. Discuss the future. Very well, Harper said with a weak smile, her posture relaxing visibly as she leaned back into the overstuffed cushions of her sitting chair. We shall tell your future. Staring deep into James's eyes, she hesitated a moment and shook her head. I can tell you nothing you do not already know, she said, and locked gazes with Gorath. But you, however, I see betrayal in your future. You will turn on all that you have sworn oath to, and will become something you once hated. You will face your enemy most hated, and he will change you. Holding her hands in her lap, she looked on them serenely, her face beginning to resume the look of her age. This is the fate I see for you, she said, a slight tremor in her voice betraying a hint of nervousness. Fates have spoken through me. Detecting how important it was to the fortune teller that they believed what she had told them, James leaned forward and patted the old woman's hands. We believe you, Harper, he said, reinforcing his words with a flushed smile. Believing the session was over, Bella stepped forward to escort them out, but Harper motioned for him to keep his place. I do not believe they were finished. For the price they have paid, they may continue to ask questions. So, speak of the dead. Closing her eyes, the old woman shook as if a tree bowing beneath the winds of a howling gale, her lips drawn taut and her face drained of color. For several moments of effort, she shook her head. I cannot help you. Limbs crack now. Hold those you wish too tightly. Fine. Noticing that Gorath appeared to be drifting out, James threw him a sympathetic smile. I think we've heard enough for now, Madame Havra. Perhaps we will come and see you again. Very well, she replied. Well, I shall show you out. That was interesting. Perhaps not worth 50 gold, but interesting nonetheless. Wasn't there something in this box? Yeah. Can we take both of these? No. We have one space here. What do we have? Okay. We have something over there that only takes one space. Yeah, we do. This hammer. We'll pilfer it to fill up the remainder of the inventory. Let's continue our little journey here. It didn't seem this far when we traveled the first time, but it's pretty far now. Pretty sure that's the house of the guy that sold the rations. Okay, he might not be home now. So we sure appreciated him when we were here the first time. Another one of these battles. I thought we were done with these. Apparently not. Apparently we're not done with these. That was actually pretty good. Excellent shot. Most excellent shot. Yeah, good night, Eva Glenfire. Have a lovely nap. And thanks for coming in. Thanks for moderating as well. The mod with the mostest, that's Eva Glenfire. It's pretty terrible that we maced it an entire round here. And let's try this again. Yeah, that was a direct hit. She's probably dead. Yeah, she is. Goroth is actually decently well off. Can still attack at least. He's probably dead now, yeah. That's another 4 of them down. I thought we had already finished all of them, but apparently not. These were at least still there. And we took quite the blow, but we're actually not doing too badly. At least none of us are gravely injured. Can't really sleep all that long because we don't have a lot of rations, but we have enough to restore a little bit at least. We find that guy that sold us the rations last time. I might be very tempted to buy some more. Yeah, that's the guy. So he's right here. And we can definitely do a little shopping of the rations. We have what, two, and we'll have to travel a little bit in this direction to be able to sleep. I think it's basically here. A little further. Here. Yeah. One more night's sleep here. Basically out of rations. We can go back and buy some. This guy is very nicely located, I must say. This is a very good convenience store. The 7-Eleven of our times. Might be pretty expensive. And, I'm sure his dried trout is also very good. Hasn't poisoned us yet, at least. About to reach the fork in the road here. What's this house about? we go in the wrong direction? We did. We did go in the wrong direction. That can happen sometimes. That's the fortune teller again. So we obviously went backwards. Assume that's the man with the trout again. No. Not. That is indeed the man with the trout. There's the fork. Let me just DRP a little bit here. I'll be back in like a minute. I'm back. Let's see. Not really interested in going into Sildan at this point. We have no real business there. We really just want to go back up this road. Definitely needed the rations though, because we need to sleep. And this is quite the hike. The damn road tax. We're paying that for I think the third time. This is the little town here on the outskirts, I think. Looking for is this little farm that was here. And since we're here, there's the cornfield, there's the barn of the farm. That's where we found the stamps. Before we're able to pick them up, let's head over to the town that is decently close to here, and there's a store that buys pretty much everything, and we can at least sell some of the items that we have in the inventory. Make some room. That's 25 sovereigns for this little piece. 2 sovereigns for this piece. This probably fetches 9 sovereigns. This fetches want to buy this. Yes, it does actually. We have another one here somewhere. That has 5 charges. Might want to keep it around. It's actually relatively useful. So I'll sell these swords. Free up quite a bit of space in the packs and get us a little bit of money as well. We've gotten pretty close to actually doubling our money this stream. Made a lot of money. Although it might not seem like it, we've made good progress as well. The going is relatively slow. So hike up here to the farmhouse. We'll get these seals. Assume we basically need all of them. Was not sure when we were here the first time whether we would need this or not, but I must admit I was at least a little bit skeptical that we wouldn't have to go back to get this, and I was right. It does take up quite a bit of space in the backpacks. These are items that we sold basically pay for the tax that we've now had to pay at least 4 times already. Enough with the tax collection. We can stop by the fish guy again on the way back. I think we'll have eaten all of the fish that we bought on the trip over here. This is quite the hike. This is basically a shortcut here. Way to get over here without be going in the right direction. Yes, we are. This is probably not. Yeah, this is the fish place. What are we doing on food now? Only have something like 3 food. We can't buy more though. So we do have some extra space at the packs, I believe. Might be able to, yeah, buy at least 1 pack. So all we need really can get more food at Romney. So we have enough food to actually get there. James has trouble. A witless looking fellow stumbled towards them. The swagger of his steps, a good sign he had overly enjoyed a cask of Cassian ale or quickening brandy. Glancing up with half-lidded eyes, the drunk stared intently at James, then reached for his sword. It's you. You just left me to die in that Cassian hellhole, didn't you? Well, now I pay you back, you sour's ass. What an idiot. An unnecessary death, if there ever was one. And for an idiot, he had quite a bit on him. Don't think we have space for all of this stuff. We might have enough space for this. Yeah, we actually do. Full here, full here. So we have 1 space left here. Fine. We do have one space free, so take this, we can sell it. The single pack of food as well. That's nice. Onwards we travel to Romney. It's quite the distance. There's the inn. It was just outside of that town. Thinking that the designers probably put it there for knowing that quite a few people wouldn't have brought the stamps with them. Would have needed to come back for the seals. Let's see whether he lets us in now. Do you have one of our seals? Yes, we do. Yes, why is a guild in charge of the city? The constabulary were all killed. Yeah, we know all this. Were all killed in the uprising, but the Liverpoolers Guild and no one else in any authority was left alive to administrate. When I was approached to take command, I decided that I would use my men in the guild to help maintain order until such a time the Duke was able to arrive from his estate. Makes some sort of sense. Where can you find the King's men from Bastira? We'll be holding up at the Black Sheep Tavern for a celebration of some kind. I believe I heard one of them say they found something they were looking for. I'm not sure what it's all about. I think that may mean good news for us as well. Good night, Reeve. We're now on into Romney. Okay, that part is solved. Path turned. Following the river-like course of the small dusty road, James saw that it flowed around several small hills, descending eventually toward a large town. Romney, he said, do you think we should go in for supplies? Yes. It's taken us like 4 hours to get here, so yes. Known as the City of Gills, Romney's cobblestone streets were knotted, a labyrinth of closes and winds, often leading nowhere or into blind alleys populated by disreputable-looking drinking establishments. Only the dark main street, called the Murky Mile, seemed at all inviting to visitors to the strange town. Take it. There's the tavern. The water was fresh, sloping down several handfuls drawn from the well. James splashed his face and arms for a good measure. At last he felt fully refreshed. He moved away so that Cora could do the same. Nothing more to look at here, I think. See whether this shop buys and sells anything. It does. Okay. That at least means that we can go back and forth and possibly gather all of the stuff that we've left behind and sell it. Make a bit of money. We've left quite a bit of stuff behind, so it will actually take us forever to go fetch all of it, since our inventory is also absolutely stuffed with stuff. So maybe we won't, we'll see. Sort of depends on what I have to do with all of these weird stamps that we don't really need. Meeting hall was full. Assembled in the room were a dozen grizzled-looking men, all seated around a long table at the head of which sat a young man, sporting a goatee. As they entered, the servant quickly pointed them to a bench off the side. indicating that a meeting of some import was underway. I don't care what Mike Mitchell Waylander may or may not be doing, the bearded man said sternly. I am the Duke of Romney, and you will do as I request, else I will call up others from the Bastira. We really wish to call King Liam's attention to this matter. Unsettled by the vigor with which the young Duke made his point, the various guild leaders shifted in their seats. One, a tremendously overweight man whose clothes tested their seams, leaned forward, careful not to spark too much of a response. It is entirely possible that the leader of the River Pullers was assassinated by the leader of one of the other guilds here. It's even possible he sits in this room with us. If you have someone in mind, Bother, why don't you simply come out with a name? Another man replied, leaning across the table to grab the obese guildmaster's shirt. Hog, you overweight cat inert. Enough. Slamming down the tankard of ale which sat at his right hand, the Duke turned his piercing blue eyes on all who assembled. I want peace on the Romney, and I wish it today. The fact that the Ironmongers Guild will not come to a negotiations table is irrelevant. If I hear another word of a possible uprising in Romney, I swear to you I shall make each and every one of you pay for it. Having heard enough of the heated words from the chamber, James turned and whispered to his companions. If Arutha were here, it'd have this lot at the gibbet for even thinking of open rebellion. Fact of the matter is that Prince Arutha is not here, the Duke replied tersely, evidently having overheard the whispering, and I will not deal so cavalierly with those who are as much as my family as my serfs. Snapping his fingers, he motioned to a pair of guards who stood mute behind him. Sergeant Ely, see to it that these gentlemen are let out, seeing as how they yearn to get a part of the world where Prince Arutha rules. Not a friendly bunch, are they? Even as they threw the door open, James bit back the impulse to vomit. Kingdom soldiers lay scattered about the room, each lying in his own coagulating pool of blood. Nowhere did there appear to be anyone untouched by murderous hands. Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. They've killed all the King's men. We're on to chapter 3, the spyglass and the spider. The coppery smell of burning flesh filled the air. Embers leapt from the funeral pyre into the growing dusk, joined the winking points of light that would later become a blaze of crystalline stars. Around the flames, villagers gathered in dark cloths, their faces overwritten with blank, unreadable expressions. Like moths to a candle, they drifted near and warmed and hot and sniffed. They had come to watch the flames feed, Gorath's fathomless green eyes initiated in the firelight as he turned and gazed at Owen, who flinched uncomfortably at his side. There can be no uneasier sleep than a warrior murdered in his cups, Gorath said, his voice only slightly louder, the spitting hiss of scorched bone. He nipped at the heels of the Nighthawks, be certain of that. So you think we're getting close? Owen asked. Gorath began to speak, but his words congealed on his lips as his eyes locked with the burning gaze of Senior James. I've had it with your mysterious half-answers, Moridro. Now for the sake of your continued good health, I want to hear some explanations fast. Why you were here in Romney 6 months before you made your appearance at the Inglendale Pass. The only explanation, Senior, is that you are mistaken. I have never been south of Inglendale. While we carried the dead from Black Sheep Tavern, a tavern boy informed me that a man answering to your description called on 3 unwholesomes dressed in black, all of whom wore the trademark silver rings of the Nighthawks. He heard them refer to the Moridro as Gorath. It seems that this Moridro paid a sizable sum of money to those Nighthawks before departing, enough perhaps to arrange the death of a company of the King's soldiers. He may well have paid the King's death, but I know nothing of it. I realize it may impress little upon you, but Gorath is a passing common name in the Northlands. And off as not your kingdom fellow folks have mistaken me for an elf. Barkeeper was likely deceived by enemies of mine. If I had caused to mislead you or your prince, I would have found a far less convoluted means of confusing the royal sanity. Look elsewhere for your enemies, James. While we may not be friends, I mean you no harm. I shall look where I wish until you are no longer my responsibility. We may not be able to strike at the Nighthawk stronghold, but if we can locate it, we may still be able to get inside and find the information that Prince Arutha needs. The Nighthawks will shun Romney for a time, however bold they may be in their murderous nights, they flee when daylight breaks. No one walks without leaving footprints, and these men are no different. However skilled they may be at assassination, they have never been any good at covering their tracks. Let me see those things you found in the tavern. They are here. Good. Those are our footprints of all the items we found on the dead company. Both these items seemed conspicuously out of place and may be related in some way to our elusive murderers. We begin our hunt for the Nighthawks with a spider and a spyglass. Chapter 3: The Spyglass and the Spider. I was shown into a room, seated cross-legged in a large wooden chair. Duke Romney was staring at a large lumpy form, which was heaped on top of the meeting table, his youngest features obviously clouded by some issue of great concern. "What's under the sheet?" James asked. "Otho Chandler," the Duke replied grimly. "We found him in the alleyway and have dropped him off here until the undertakers can come for him." "Murdered?" The Duke sighed. "Fortunately, it's no great mystery. He was fighting with the leaders of the Millers Guild and got cornered by 3 mercenaries. We have them all in custody. Things have gotten so bad here that we're regularly building a bonfire to burn the bodies from this idiot private war between the guilds." "Any way we can be of assistance?" James asked, taking a glance beneath the sheet at the obese corpse. "We may be in the area for some while." Drumming his fingers on the table, the Duke stared intently at them. "Actually, you may be of service to me," he said after a thoughtful moment. "If I can convince Arlie Steele's soul to come into negotiations with the rest of the guilds, it's possible I can break this deadlock between them. My father's always said that the guilds would follow Mitchell Waylander and Arlie Steele, so whichever way they go. But unfortunately, Mitchell is too intertwined in the origins of its problem for me to use him effectively." "Where do we fit into this?" James asked. "You're neutral," he replied, gaining his feet. "You were born outside of Romney and you have no connections to the guilds. I'm right about that, aren't I?" Quickly an anxious look flickered in his eyes, but quickly vanished as he noticed that James was shaking his head. "Hey there, Megatron the Gamer." "Excellent. My point being is that the guilds might view a private meeting between myself and Arlie as unfair negotiation. They have to believe that he is coming to the negotiation table of his own free will, and believe me, they will be watching my movements for a while." "Do you want us to find this Arlie Steele fellow and convince him to come and negotiate with the rest of the guilds? Is that it?" James asked. "Just so," the Duke replied. "You will find that he has a small house to the west and south of here. I would advise you, though, he is a paranoid man. He keeps himself well guarded and there may be some danger involved." "Of course there is." "I will reward you for your efforts, of course." "That's all right," James said with a smile, heading towards the door. "We're used to danger." "Yes, we are. Welcome in, Megatron the Gamer." This circus music is sort of amusing. What the hell is this? A silver spider. With the exception of its carnelian tinged fangs, the miniature spider glinted a deadly silver hue. On its underbelly, a long, shallow groove bisected its length. Passed between its fangs, a groove through which a sword blade or an arrow point could be easily passed. What does this object do? Brass spyglass. A relatively simple device, the spyglass was a cylinder of brass fitted with a large glass lens on one end and another smaller lens on the opposite end. While spyglasses were used to spot distant objects, James suspected this one had been rendered useless by the cracks in the larger lens. Why do we have these? Why did we pick these 2 items out of all of the items on the dead bodies? A valid question. We're getting close to the Nighthawks without a doubt. He said southwest. Guess we go southwest then, which is basically backwards. It's not possible that he could have missed more badly than he actually did. Take the crossbow, it's worth quite a bit. Go back and sell it. I think we can fit another one. Yes, we can actually. Fit this sword as well. No. Go back and sell the crossbows and then come back for this mess. Please buy my crossbow, 85 sovereigns. That's quite a bit. Yeah, enjoy your dinner, Texas Foosborough. Thanks for coming in, and happy Friday to you as well. You enjoy the rest of your night. You'll probably be done when you come back. If you come back, that is. I'm gonna spend a little bit longer on this, but not that much longer. This music is pretty weird. Tell you that, it's very weird. Do some armor and weapon repair here since we're at it. And, I doubt we'll pick up the rest of this stuff. From the dead bodies of the ninjas, it's perhaps not worth it. Gotten, we have enough wealth now that it really isn't a huge concern. We scrape every penny. We have our inventory is filled with stuff. Where is this guy, however? Is he somewhere here? This town could be. That's the brewer. Why is Owen? Okay. The temple. It was abandoned. There's this house. We already emptied out this house. It's the jewelry store. Okay. That's exhausted the. It's definitely exhausted the buildings that are in this tiny town of what was it called again? Sloop. Okay. That's not it. Keep our eyes open here. More of these ninjas. Leave him alone. Get back. What an a-hole. It's going to be very costly and annoying to fix. Better think twice about running away. How is it possible that he's such a poor shot? This Elias root oil, an emerald called flute rippled the length of the flute neck bottle as Gorath upended it, then righted it once more. very light oil. It was used by soldiers to temporarily enhance the metallic qualities of their swords and of their armor. There are so many of these items. There really are. All of them take up space in the inventory. Till this, and might as well go back and sell this as well. Don't know how much space we have left here really. Find it very odd that both of them seem to have exactly the same things on them. No, they actually don't. Uh, See if we can leave this sword here. I'd rather take the bow. It's worth more. Get more money for it. But, why are these guys here? What are they guarding? Still haven't found anything that looks like a house where the guy could live. But let's head back to town. Sell these things for now. Yeah. Sure. That's still 44 sovereigns. That's quite a bit. 43 sovereigns for the heavy boasting as well. Yeah, it automatically takes me out of the town. Not safe to sleep anywhere here, seems. Owen is not doing too great. He's basically dead. Let's see if we can. We have some green stuff to try to bring him back to us. Bring him here. Let's take one of these as well. Then we'll definitely have to go to an inn as well. Gained 2 basically. What we'll do now is what is his healing? He's 31. Okay. I'll have him take another of these. And we'll sign in again. What's his near-death situation now? 67%. Another one. And another night. 13. Near death is now 58. $54. And one more night in the inn. Still at 17, which is piss poor. And he's at least below 50% near death, but he's not really ready for any sort of struggle at this point. So if we get into trouble, he's basically dead. Unless we can shield him somehow. And what aggravates me most about the combat system in this game is that it is actually very, very difficult to shield a character, and the fact that you can't use magic unless you're ranged makes a lot of things very difficult to pull off. Okay. Southwest, he said. That's basically in this direction. Is this the place? It did tell us he was very secretive. Maybe there's a spell. They go up white but come down yellow and white. could that possibly be? Any ideas, guys? Any suggestions? Come down, yellow and white. I have no idea what this could possibly be. Is there just the one box there? Not two of them. Spell was actually relatively useful. Let's cast it again. Hmm. That's just the inn. Look at these exuberant prices here. The man smiled. That's not the same reply we got before. The man smiled, showing uneven brown teeth. Who said I bought it? Ah, James said, taking hold of Owen's shirt sleeve. I think my companion here promised me a drink before we came in. I think it's well night time. I collected on it. Good day to you. Perhaps we can speak again. No hints to be had anywhere here, it seems. The only thing we can get here is seriously expensive rations. How is Owen doing with his partying? Decently well. His health is recovering a little bit as well. He's finally gotten rid of the near death. Takes a few days. Now I remain convinced that there's something fishy about that house over there. I'm pretty sure that we need to open up this chest here. What could this possibly be? This is the dumbest hint I've seen so far, I think. Can't imagine what this might be. A little bit more searching here to the southwest. That's basically the only hint that we got. That's where the sword was. Relatively useless. We're burning through our food pretty quickly here. What's wrong with Goroth now? He's poisoned. Not a lot. You'll get better. That sloop, we've been there, done that. Got that t-shirt. Those holes on the ground. We already moved everything from this one. Been into this town, checked every building in it multiple times now. That's probably not it. Two of these guys. That's great. probably death again. Yeah. Get up there again. And at least improve the situation here. A tough break. We just got him out of this pretty big of a hole that we put him in earlier. Yeah. Let's start business again. We're gonna need at least 2 swigs of this. And at least 1 swig of this. Then all we can basically do is hope that we heal a little bit. That's the fortune teller again. We have no food. Now we're dead. Definitely dead now. This might be the point where we call stream and attempt this again. We had some bad luck there with Owen. Hard to deal with the ninja guys because they know to go for the mage every time. I might have to swallow the pill and just actually get the food for 40 gold instead of traveling around looking for food. There's a long way over to the guy that sells the fish and very little in the way of food to be bought anywhere else. Been a decently good stream. We've been at it for 3 hours and 30 minutes or so. We'll continue this in part 7. We've reached a new chapter. So we're moving along in the game. Let's see who's on, if anyone has any ideas of someone to raid. Please throw that in, but I see that Mantle is on, and he hasn't been on for a bit. In the process of moving house. I think we'll throw her a raid. She's a great streamer. Interacts well with our chat and plays a bunch of fun games. She's playing Super Metroid right now. Send you guys over to her place now. As per usual, guys. Thanks for coming. Thanks for the raids. Golden House, Jalifar. And thanks for redeeming the visitat, Mr. Cola. Thanks for the follow, Jalifar. And thanks for coming, guys, as always. Might and Magic here tomorrow, 2200 UTC, and special subscriber Darkest Dungeon stream here on Sunday. Be here at 2200 tomorrow and on Sunday if you wish. Have an excellent rest of the night and you sleep well. Good night.